What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we are jumping in with more Destiny 2 updates and news. It's Thursday, so we get the TWID with all of these splendid insights and updates from Bungie, hopefully a bit juicier than last week. So we'll round all of that stuff up, as well as some additional updates from Bungie, things going on in relation to Destiny, as well as Destiny Rising. The closed beta for that is dropping. Also an indication that there are no changes to Marathon's release plans, on a side note, as well as some extra conversation about security and cheating in the game, and a few other updates. So, as always guys, I hope you find the video useful, and if you do, get subscribed and I'll keep you posted with more content, but now, let's get into it. First quick thing to mention here, D2 tweeted, "Your reputation is well founded and your strength is hard earned. The emissary has enabled additional gear drops in Rite of the Nine until the next weekly reset, so if you happen to be hunting down any weapons, from Ghost of the Deep of course, which is featured right now, it's going to be a good time to dive in. Otherwise, Prophecy will finally be featured for the first time starting next week on the reset. We'll get to more of that in a moment, but as Destiny Bulletin shared here, the Destiny Rising closed beta test will run for 3 weeks, ending on the 19th of June. So for anyone who has access, there'll be plenty of time to play it. If you don't currently have access, it is still possible to sign up. So there'll be a link down below if you still want to try and sign up for that. In adjacent Bungie news though, I guess, given the amount of conversation about Marathon, whether it could be delayed or cancelled, as some folks have even indicated, for the moment, the game was still featured in PlayStation's recent Play the Unmissable trailer, with the targeted launch date of September 23rd still being highlighted. So I'd say at the time that this has gone live this week, it indicates there are absolutely no plans to delay the game at the moment. Some folks said, well, this trailer would have been made weeks ago, so it doesn't necessarily mean anything. I actually disagree, as marketing for these things can be updated very quickly, and if the plan had already changed, I'm fairly confident they wouldn't post a trailer that says it's still dropping on the 23rd of September. So I would take that as confirmed for the moment. Of course, things still might change in the future, but as of right now, none of those plans have indeed been changed. So give us your thoughts about that below. Next up though, getting into the TWID itself, Bungie say we're on the edge, and as of today, we're about 7 weeks away from the release of Destiny 2 Edge of Fate, or The Edge of Fate. I always remove the from the name, it just doesn't sit right to me. But they go on, we mentioned in our intro that we've had some very special guests at our headquarters in recent weeks. These Guardians have had 2 days of hands-on time with Edge of Fate, as well as one-on-one conversations with the development team. So they do point out, if you're looking to enter Edge of Fate without spoilers, now's the time to start going dark. And while we've asked our friends to keep story spoilers to a minimum, footage will include the first mission from Edge of Fate and additional gameplay capture from the Kepler destination. Are you itching to know more about gear tiers, Armor 3.0, the portal? Well, if you are, hands-on previews and interviews will begin rolling out on June 3rd at 9 AM Pacific, which is next Tuesday, so that will be alongside the weekly reset pretty much for Destiny, as Prophecy also goes live for Rite of the Nine. In terms of who to look out for though, for these previews, you can see a list on screen, many names that you will recognize, of course. Mine is not one of them, so that's why I'm refusing to read out the list of names specifically. You can go find your own Edge of Fate previews. Of course, I'm only joking. They're going to land in your subfeed, regardless. So that's going to be interesting. Bungie say we have no doubts that some questions will pop up soon after this wave of content is live, and we're excited to say this is just the start of the conversation. Each TWID from now through to launch will be looking to address questions, expand context, or tease out further changes coming to Destiny 2. Not only that, but we have a few more info drops planned before launch, so in terms of some important dates, before we get to July 15th, firstly, June 24th at 10 AM Pacific, as well as July 1st at the same time, we're going to get some more in-depth reveals, and Bungie had said, I believe in the live stream for the main Edge showcase, that they'll be focusing on more of the kind of system changes largely, so we will get a more in-depth look at Armor 3.0, reward tiers and all that kind of stuff. And on top of the other hands-on previews, Bungie will be giving some of that stuff directly to us in these live streams. So finally, they say, we mentioned during the initial reveal event that there's quite a lot of change coming to Destiny 2, system overhauls, new loot, challenges, and more. And we're excited to share what we've been working on since the final shape. A new saga is about to begin, and we can't wait. So I guess given that Bungie don't go into any further specifics or reveals today, that's why they're highlighting some of these upcoming previews that we'll get next week and beyond. So let us know if you're looking forward to that. I certainly am. I feel like we've got a decent idea of what to expect overall, but obviously we're going to get that in much more detail very soon. Otherwise, as we mentioned at the start of the video, of course, Prophecy will be featured for Rite of the Nine starting next week on June 3rd as well. So first it was Spire, then Ghosts of the Deep, and soon it will be Prophecy's turn in Rite of the Nine. We know you're still going after those God Rolls and Hollow Foils in Ghosts of the Deep, and we hope that the additional rewards from chests and weapon drops from enemies this week will help in that regard. But to get ready for the next dungeon, they say you can face the Kel Echo, complete the cube, and drive through the impossible road made of totally not rainbows. Prophecy will be featured in Rite of the Nine starting June 3rd, along with 2 new quests that will reward players with special weapons from the dungeon. Plus, there's new lore to find and a new height to reach in Rite of the Nine social space. During its second week, we'll turn the drop rate of weapons to 11, including drops from enemies and more. Then, of course, after 2 weeks of Prophecy, all 3 dungeons will be available for players, with the rotation now granting increased rewards to a specific want. So, June 3rd to 17th, Prophecy will be available, and the week of June 10th will see increased rewards and weapon drops from enemies. From June 17th to 24th, all Rite of the Nine dungeons will be available to play. And for the week of June 17th, increased currency drops will be active for all dungeons. Then, from June 24th to July 8th, all dungeons are available, and one will have increased currency rewards. So for June 17th, it's Spire, then on the 24th, Ghosts of the Deep, and for July 1st, it'll be Prophecy, with July 8th up until the 15th, featuring a Loot Palooza, with increased currency rewards and weapon drops from enemies in all dungeons, and a new way to spend the Nonary Manifold currency. So Bungie essentially reiterating that, but let us know if you're looking forward to Prophecy. Probably has some of the best weapons for Rite of the Nine in general, so at least we'll have that to chase next week. Otherwise, Bungie point out, beginning June 3rd, Destiny 2 players will have access to the brand new Pride shader pack, bursting with bold, joyful shaders inspired by the diversity and vibrance of the LGBTQIA+ community, and that shader pack will be up in the store for 800 silver, so keep that in mind. Plus, there'll be some additional rewards available if you purchase the Pride collectible pin via the Bungie store starting next week. And there's even a new shader that all players can redeem by following a link in the TWID. So TWID is linked below, and we can see a preview of that very bright and colourful shader from the article as well. So that's in the description box, but otherwise, for this week at least, that is the TWID. Although, as Bungie tease, moving forward, the TWIDs will start to zero in a lot more on changes coming in Edge of Fate, so let us know if you're looking forward to that below. A final mention here in relation to cheaters and game security. DMG said, anytime we have a public response acknowledging bad actors on social media due to code of conduct, there are a bunch of what about or why don't you prioritize or ban cheaters questions. The team definitely does. There are for sure videos of jerks that circulate and reports of matching cheaters, but it's an iceberg sort of deal. You're seeing a small fraction of the work that's done every day. And this is an industry-wide point of view. Hundreds to thousands of accounts are banned in a given month across tons of online games, but a handful of videos undermine the good work of studios and teams as folks don't see all the good that they're doing. So to players of Destiny specifically, thank you to all who continue to report bad actors in game, and thank you to those who use our Bungie.net report tool. It sucks when cheaters ruin matches and experiences, and we dislike cheating issues as much as you do. To say we're sorry it happens is an understatement, but the team will continue to jam on detections and methods to remove cheaters until the sun burns out. It can be a thankless job, so I want to send one more thank you out to folks who share screenshots when they're informed that a report resulted in action. Positive reinforcement is always helpful, so interesting to get some insights about that, the indication being that Bungie are saying they're doing as much as they possibly can. Of course, this is a growing issue across all video games, not just Destiny, especially as cheats and software that circumvents anti-cheat get more and more complicated and intelligent. Safe to say, it's a hard battle to win at the moment, but that's Bungie's position, and give us your thoughts below. For today, that's everything we have to speak about, so as always, let us know what you think in the comments. If you found the video helpful, a rating below really does help us too. But otherwise, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.